All right, let's dive right into the amazing world of vegetable fermentation. This is a practice that's been around forever, and for good reason. It's all about unlocking these incredible, complex flavors and boosting nutrition in a way that connects you to your food like never before.
So, what are we really talking about here? Well, fermentation is this practical, almost magical way to take everyday produce, that cabbage sitting in your fridge, those carrots, and turn them into something that is just deeply nourishing and delicious. We're talking food that's packed with beneficial probiotics. It's a total game changer for your gut and your taste buds. I get it though. The whole idea of letting food just sit on your counter for weeks can seem a little weird, maybe a bit intimidating. You're probably wondering, is it safe? Do I need special equipment? What am I even supposed to do? But don't you worry, because there is a perfect starting point for any beginner.
And that starting point is classic sauerkraut. We actually call it the gateway ferment, and that's because it is the cornerstone of fermented vegetables. It teaches you all the essential principles you need to know in one incredibly simple, basically foolproof recipe.
It's just amazing how simple this really is. At its core, sauerkraut is just two ingredients: shredded cabbage and salt. That is it. The salt is the real key here. It's the workhorse. It pulls all the water out of the cabbage, creating its own natural brine. And that brine is what protects the cabbage while all those good bacteria get to work making that signature tangy flavor. Now, if you remember one thing from all of this, please make it this number. This is the absolute golden rule for perfect sauerkraut. You have to use exactly 2% salt by the weight of the cabbage, not by volume, by weight. This exact ratio is what guarantees a safe, successful, and delicious ferment every single time. Your kitchen scale is about to become your new best friend, I promise. The process itself, super straightforward. First, you're going to massage that 2% salt right into your shredded cabbage, and you'll literally feel it start to get wet as it releases its water. Then you pack it into a jar as tightly as you can. Really push it down to get rid of any air pockets. And the final, most critical step is to add a weight. This keeps all that cabbage submerged under its own brine, which is the secret of this whole technique called dry salting. So once you've totally mastered dry salting with sauerkraut, you are ready for the next big technique: brine fermentation. And we're going to explore this by making something everybody loves: classic, crispy dill pickles. Yeah, forget those limp, super vinegary pickles you get from the store. True lacto-fermented pickles get their incredible sourness from beneficial bacteria, not from a splash of vinegar. This process creates a flavor that's just way more complex, tangy, and frankly alive. So how do you get that perfect deli-style crunch? Okay, here are the keys. Instead of salting the vegetable directly, you create a salt brine, usually somewhere between 3 and 5% salt to water. You want to use firm, unwaxed cucumbers for this. And here's a fantastic pro tip. Add a leaf that's rich in tannins, like a grape leaf or even a black tea leaf, right into the jar. The tannins are what help keep those pickles wonderfully crisp. It's an old school trick that really works. Okay, so let's just put these two methods right next to each other. For the sauerkraut, we use dry salting on cabbage, and it takes a few weeks to really develop that deep flavor. For our pickles, we submerged cucumbers in a brine we made, and they're ready in just a few days. See, it just shows you there are two very different paths to get to the same delicious, probiotic-rich result. Okay, so now that you get the two main techniques, let's kind of zoom out for a second. Because whether you're making sauerkraut, pickles, kimchi, or anything else, there are a few foundational principles that apply to every single fermentation project you'll ever do.
And here they are, the 4 golden rules for success. Number 1, sanitation. Basically, clean gear prevents bad bacteria from crashing the party. 2, salt is your friend. The right amount creates the perfect environment where only the good guys can thrive. 3, submersion is absolutely key. Keeping everything under the brine starves mold of the oxygen it needs to grow. And 4, patience. Fermentation is a living process. You just have to give it time to work its magic.
So there you have it. You've got the basic techniques, you know the rules, so what's next? Well, with this foundational knowledge, a whole world of exciting possibilities just opened up for you. This is where the real fun begins.
And what's so great is that you can kind of choose your own adventure based on how much time you have. If you need a quick, tangy slaw for the weekend, you can make curtido in less than a week. Got a little more time? try some dill pickles or garlic scapes. Or if you're ready to commit to something amazing, go for a long ferment like a classic sauerkraut or kimchi. The choice is all yours. I want to leave you with this final thought. Think of these recipes and rules as reliable maps, but not as strict itineraries. The real magic, the real fun, happens when you start to experiment. You are in control. So, what are you going to create first with your new microbial orchestra?